Howdy, soldiers. Fire-breathing bitch queen reporting for duty. Caffeine. Oh god, I've had so much coffee today. But I'm dead inside, so I need it. Alright, so if you stalk me on social media, or literally you just look at the name of my channel, you can probably deduct that I was and used to model. I started when I was about 15, I'm 25 now, and in modeling terms, I'm ancient. When I started this channel, I had a lot more modeling related content, but that kind of fell by the wayside, and my modeling career has also kind of fizzled out. Mostly because I started getting tattoos. Now I have a ridiculous amount of photos of myself in, some normal, but some really weird shoot ideas. Like, what is this? What is this? Who is she? I think I was like 16 at this time. And a long time ago, I had written a whole document. I had scripted a video about the pros and cons of Photoshop because I didn't want people to think that, oh, Photoshop is evil and it will change who you are. Oh, hi, Pumpkin. You coming up? Oh, it's a pumpkin. Oh my goodness, hello. Do you want to come help me film a video? Really? Oh my, then what? Okay, no, that's not your laptop, that's my laptop. Get off. I personally don't mind a little Photoshop. For example, I have really terrible acne, and my skin goosebumps at pretty much anything. So it's nice to have a photo editor, like, retouch some things, like smooth my skin out. Sometimes if a garment doesn't fit very well, you can kind of cheat and make everything look a lot smoother and nicer. In modeling, the goal of Photoshop or retouching is not to significantly alter the person that you're taking the photo of, because if you're modeling clothing or accessories, they need to be the right color and the right shape to truly present what is being shown. And if they hire you as a model, they're hiring your look, so they're probably not going to edit it to be a completely different face. Although we're gonna get into some weird stuff later. But I was going through some of my modeling photos the other day, and there are a multitude of ways people have photoshopped my face to high heaven. I thought it'd be really funny to do a video kind of like critiquing and just mentioning and like picking apart some pictures that are not quite my face. I'll also say I hold absolutely no ill will to any of the photographers or retouchers who have done these things to my pictures, because everyone has their own creative vision of what they want the end result to look like, and sometimes you need a little bit of extra editing to help you out. And I'm like every other person, right? Like, I edit my photos on Instagram or whatever. You know, take out this giant pimple that arrived on my chin for no good reason. That being said, sometimes I get photos back and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So without further ado, let's go over some times that people have photoshopped the absolute utter crap out of me. Actually, before we begin, I wanted to do a quick segment here on today's episode of A Model Who's Read on times that Photoshop is obviously being used, but it's being used in a good way. So for example, this one is for a shoot that I did with the hair salon Vanilla Loft in West Vancouver. Highly recommend, they're very nice, hashtag not sponsored. If my memory serves me correct, this was a very windy day, so I don't think that all of my hair was this nice on my head. So they probably got rid of a couple flyaways, they probably enhanced some of the color, because I am very pale and I'm wearing a white shirt, and I'm assuming that without any kind of like color editing, it was just like a white blown out blob. It's like me, melanin, we don't know her. Speaking of color editing, there's one photographer that I've worked with a couple times, and who's Jen, she's really great. And we did this shoot a couple years ago, and as much as I want to believe my eyes are this piercing and could like go through you and your soul, that's not the case. Jen has a very specific style of editing. It's a lot of filters, it's a lot of very saturated, vibrant colors. And I happen to really like the way that she edits photos, including this one as well from another shoot that we did. Again, because I'm very pale wearing a white dress, she probably had to do some like shadow and light editing with this one. And she definitely edited the color of the sea, because I don't think the water off of the west coast of BC is not this beautiful. It's more of like a murky seaweed color. Now we're gonna go back to a little baby Rachel. This is me at 17 in New York modeling for a hat designer at Milner. And my side eye has been activated, because do you see a single pore on this face? Because I sure don't. Again, beautiful job. It's a lovely photo. The light and shadow are just gorgeous, but my skin is not that good. It especially wasn't that good at 17. And last one I'll talk about is this one. This is from an editorial I did for, I believe it's a Peruvian magazine, Elos y Elias. and you can definitely tell there's a filter on this one, mostly just because everything is very sepia tone, and I don't think that Vancouver is not naturally sepia toned. Though I do really appreciate that they defined my arm muscles and my shoulders with the light and shadow play. I'm like, oh, that's a nice touch, I like that. So yeah, not all bad. The things that are just kind of to like add the final touch and just, you know, make everything just a little bit smoother, cleaner, brighter. But I know it's not what you're here for. You're here for the weird shit, so strap in, because we're gonna look at some weird pictures of my face. So I think we're gonna start mild and work our way up to crazy. So the first one I want to talk about is this one, which is again baby Rachel at 19 when I was in South Africa. This does and doesn't look like my face, and I say that because if you look at me straight on, my jawline is similar, but I think in this one my chin's a little smaller and my jawline's more defined, which, like, thank you, God bless. My lip is not that round or full, so like, that's a tell. I actually quite like this photo, and I think this was actually the photo on my comp card at my agency for a really long time. But at the same time, this looks like I'm a twin and this is my better looking sister. Here is a picture from a catalog I did. This took me a while to figure out if they were photoshopped or not, but I'm going to say that they are, because if you zoom in on my legs, I have no leg muscle. I'm very young in this. I think I was 15 or 16 at the time, and I was in my like full-on crazy horse girl horseback riding phase. I would have had at least some rockin' calves, and I still have thigh muscles that refuse to be slimmed away. Was my arm ever that thin? Like, I have thin arms, and I did have thinner arms, but I have no muscle on me at all in this picture. They did this over my whole body. Like, if you didn't know me and you looked at this, you'd be like, yeah, that looks like a regular person. Like, I still have knees, right? Remember how just a couple seconds ago I was like, ooh, that jawline's like so strong or whatever from that last photo? Look at this photo! This is a completely different face shape. I do think this one is more like actually my face shape, and obviously the retoucher blew out the background a little to make my face stand out, especially with light like that. I also remember it being really cold and me having like cake face makeup on. So they obviously photoshopped something to make it a little smoother and probably get rid of all the goosebumps that were on my arms. Oh my god, I think we were shooting in like, I want to say we were shooting like November, by the Vancouver airport, which if any of you know is just like bog and beach, but it was freezing and I was in a freaking slip dress. Actually, I think I have a picture from that same shoot. Yeah, here it is. Oh my god, I was so cold! This is not the background of BC, by the way. The airport is not an actual ice glacier. Yeah, that was a weird shoot. Also, hot tip, if anyone ever puts gold foil on you, make sure that you have the proper gold foil glue remover, because if you don't, it's gonna be on your face for the next 2 weeks and you can't freaking get it off. Okay, I'm trying to go chronologically, and I think this is the next one. This is probably from when I was like 17 or 18. This was a very creative shoot I did with an art student, and this ended up being the final image, and like, wow, what a photo. But at the same time, that's not my face! Whose face is that? Who is she? My eyes are huge, my jawline is snatched, and that cheekbone, this is what my cheekbone dreams it could be. I specifically remember seeing a video, like a time-lapse of this photographer showing how she edited the photo, because she had to smooth out the white paint. Yes, I was actually painted white. She had to smooth that out, make sure there are no brush strokes. I think she like enhanced my nails a bit. But I specifically remember seeing a part of it where she took my cheek and went whoop, and then suddenly my whole face looked like that. It was the strangest thing to me. Also, I think she added hair, because my hair was teased out to oblivion, but I'm pretty sure I just didn't have enough, and now I definitely don't have enough. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the photo that made this video. Like, this is the photo that made me want to make this video, and this is back from 2015, so I would have been 19? And one of my first photo shoots when I went to Milan is this photo! This is not my face! Oh, this cheekbone is snatched. This is so wild to me because, like, what? That is uncanny valley right there. And like, I don't hate it. I actually love this photo so much. I think it's beautiful. But at the same time, like, if I look like the cheap knockoff of this. I like that they enhanced my freckles, and I like that they gave me that cheekbone, but I think this is kind of what people think when they think of like over photoshopping, because this obviously is not the same person. Cheekbones like Benedict Cumberbatch, Benadryl Cabbage Patch, Beetlebop Cumbersnatch. Bumblebee Crumpets did. Blueberry Pumpkin Patch. Okay, moving on. These next two are from the same shoot, another one that I did while I was in Milan. And I wanted to specifically show these two because these are from the same shoot with the same look. And the way that they've edited me makes me look like I'm two completely different people, which is so cool and weird and wild. So the first one is this gorgeous thing, and like, it's gothic, it's creepy. I have a skeleton hand, I have a thorn crown. I was living when they gave me this look. Oh, it was a good day. Like, yeah, this is like, you can tell that they probably edited my face a little bit, but like, it still looks like me. It's just a very dramatic version of me. And now I'm gonna show you another picture from that same shoot. How is that the same person? My eyes are a different tilt. My lips are smaller. They're not even the same color in both pictures. My face is smooth. It's long. Whose face is this? Because that's not mine. Never believe what you see online, kids, because this could have been my face, and it's just not. Again, I think it's a lovely photo, but just seeing the other photo of like, yeah, that's me. That could be me. This is me in Uncanny Valley. This is me in like a weird sequel movie where they replaced the real me because they couldn't renew my contract, and they hired someone else that looked like kind of enough like me. That's what this is. Like, do I have an identical twin sister that I just didn't know about? And then she got plastic surgery? It's so strange. Going through these, I realized that a lot of them are headshots, but it's honestly a lot easier to tell the Photoshop when there is a headshot. So you're just gonna get a lot of beautiful headshots of me from my past for this video. So this is the next one I want to talk about. This one is slightly more recent. This is only from a few years ago, and I think this photo is beautiful. I had a great time shooting it. The reason this is weird is because, I mean, I have gold eyebrows, which, like, I don't normally have on an everyday basis, but they got rid of my freckles, and I think that's interesting, too, because, I mean, you can't see them a lot. Oh, ow. Oh, great, a new pimple. Delightful. And yeah, I'm wearing makeup right now, but you can still kind of see them peeking through. But in this, you can't see them at all. And yeah, we were using soft boxes, which diffuse light a little bit more than like a ring light that I have set up currently. It makes my skin look too smooth. Like, is she an android? Am I suddenly gonna see this on TV as like, the new Elysium paradise? Come live in this lovely no-issue society where everyone wears white and like gets an AI assigned to them. That's what this feels like to me. And I don't know if I like it or not. Because they didn't even pay me if that's going to be their ad campaign. I'm going to have to go after them. And lastly, though, what I want to talk about is one of the more recent ones. It was actually back when I had bangs, so not that recent. Which, like, to anybody that knew me when I had bangs, thank God Photoshop exists, because I'm pretty sure if my bangs weren't Photoshopped, they'd be like this, and like this, and like this the entire time. So this is a lovely photo that I took for my friend Sam, who's a designer, and this was going to showcase her new collection. And this is one of the photos that I got back from that set. Lovely, think it's beautiful. Two things. First of all, that jawline though? Ooh, like, thank you all for imagining I could ever have a jawline like that. I wonder if you can see it here. I have a little dent right here in this side of my jawline. There's another picture. Actually, I'll just insert the other picture. You can see it in this photo because this was a no makeup, raw, no editing photo shoot that I did with my friend Christina. And you can see I have like a little wave in my jaw. And then we go back to this one and you're like, who'd you take that jaw from, girl? I mean, yeah, I have an obsession with bones, but I'm not just gonna go like grab a jaw from somebody else and stick it on me. But besides that, you're like, this photo looks normal, right? That looks like a very pretty but normal person. And then you zoom in on my chin. Look at my chin in this photo. You're like, psh, yeah, okay, that's not real. I don't know why. Why do you edit my chin to be more pointy? And I don't understand why you did that, but okay, I guess that's your vision of me. Also, one last thing, which I think is funny. So, this dress was actually made for someone with a lot larger of a bust than I have. So it was gaping quite a bit, so thank you, whoever edited this photo, for just like enhancing my boobs enough that it looks like this fits. Thanks, that you got me. Thanks, homie. I owe you one. So there you have it. There's a bunch of photos of me that are not my face. One of the reasons I love modeling so much is because I love the super creative, weird shoots. Like, I love seeing myself as someone else's vision, and I love seeing that vision come to life and helping bring that vision to life. But sometimes the editing afterward can make it very different than what I'm assuming it's going to look like. And I'm not saying don't edit me ever, because, I mean, if I had cheekbones like that the whole time, I'd be a happy girl, but I don't, but that's okay. It's fine, I'm funnier in real life. I can win people over with my mediocre cheekbones and superior sense of humor. I guess, like that original video idea long, long ago, please leave down below your comments on Photoshop or any photo editing software. Are you for it? Are you against it? Do you do it on Instagram? Do you Facetune? Because I don't Facetune any of my photos. I'll just like edit them in like an online photo editor just to kind of get rid of some acne. I've never actually edited my own face with any of that software, mostly because I'm not very skilled at it, so it would look even worse than some of those you just saw. And I know there's a couple brands out there, especially when it comes to like swimsuits or lingerie or anything tight-fitting, that are not photoshopping their models, and I really like that because you get to see normal people's bodies. That person has some stretch marks, and that person has hip dips, and that person has a little bit of fat on their stomach, and they're not these like beautifully smooth airbrushed perfection Barbie dolls. And I really like that. So maybe in the future, you know, when the industry becomes a little bit more accepting of tattoos, I'll do shoots like that. Tattoos and flyaways meet some people's visions, and in some visions they don't. And that's fine, I don't really care. You know where to click to like the video, you know where to click to subscribe. I hope you guys are all having a nice day wherever you are, and I will see you all next week. Bye!